I thought I was the only one being negative in Thailand. You know something? Everyone is copying me now. Everyone seems to be negative. My God almighty, what the hell is going on? So you see, this is a rant. And the other guys that are making negative videos, I want to tell them, I don't make negative videos. I make positive videos, but some people don't like the information they hear and they label it as negative. And in the words of Donald Trump, nobody does it better than me. So with all the baloney that's going on here, it is making it more difficult, and it puts the shits up you. Welcome back to the channel. This is Alpha Omega Occasionally, and I'm pissed off today. I really am. This has been a long time coming, so sit back, relax and enjoy this one, lads, because it is a rant and a half. Do you know, more and more YouTubers are now going down the road of complaining about Thailand and how difficult it is to stay here. And you know, I was the one doing that for ages, and I was taking it for the team. But now everyone's on the team, everyone's jumping on the bloody bandwagon, and here's me trying to be positive. In the last few videos that I've made, I've been nothing but positive about, well, not necessarily Thailand, but about my life in Thailand. Do you know, I get lots of my information from Integrity Legal, and that is one of the most informative and honest channels on YouTube in Thailand. And he takes a lot of flack, but I can tell you, without him, we wouldn't know half the things we should know. And he's not being negative, he's just being informative. But one of the things, sometimes when I see a thumbnail coming up or on my homepage from him, I feel like burying my head in the sand, because I know, I have this feeling that it's going to be bad news. Well, you see, don't shoot the messenger. I was watching his channel the other day, and I see I'm going on about being negative. He's not being negative, he's being informative. But lots of other fellas now are taking information like that and giving a negative slant on it. You know, what the hell is going on, blah, 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 blah. But he talks about the real deal, just like me. Now apparently, you have to have a yellow book to open a bank account. What is it? You don't have to. Certain banks are making noises in that direction. And not only do you have to have would you have to have a yellow book to open a bank account, but you need to have a yellow book to maintain a bank account in Thailand. Well, you see, there's a lot of guys that have got pissed off with living in Thailand. And I can tell you, this person has just sent me a very detailed comment. And I really appreciate you taking the time. I think it's Big John 5000. I'm reading it here it doesn't look that bright on camera, but it's extremely bright and it's hard to read from the phone. But I can read it anyway what he says to me. I've watched every one of your videos from start to finish and would like to say you're the only one in Thailand putting out realistic content. I was in Thailand for over 20 years, and just this year I moved to the country of Georgia. Brackets, didn't want to be sweating in Asia anymore, close brackets. This country has beyond exceeded my expectations and made me regret the wasted years in Thailand. Forget Vietnam, forget Cambodia. The cost of living here puts anyone in Asia to shame. I rent an apartment. He goes on about the women and the cost of living. And I'll include it here in the screenshot, and I'll include the entire comment at the end of the video. You'll be able to read the whole thing. But I must say, that's really opened my eyes, and it probably opens your eyes as well. The people who are being negative about living here, they've got a point. But everyone's jumping on the bloody bandwagon. I'm just making this video because I couldn't keep it in any longer. I'm trying to diversify on this channel, trying to make more upbeat videos, bit of food reviews thrown here and there, and a bit of walking around and talking and all this kind of shit. But listen, he talks about moving to Georgia and the cost of living there, which is way, way lower than the cost of living here. And he mentions the women who are exceedingly beautiful. You don't need me to tell you about Eastern European women. So with all the baloney that's going on here, that is making it more difficult, and it puts the shits up you. When I heard that my bank account might not be accessible because I don't have a yellow book, I mean, as Benjamin Hart said, what we didn't say is, this is not verbatim, I'm not quoting anyone verbatim, but more or less the gist of what I got was that you would have to question the motives. You would have to question the authority that these institutions apply to the likes of you and me. And you'd have to question, do they have that authority? Well, of course, they run their own institutions, but at the end of the day, I would see it as my money, and it's money that was, at the end of the day, I would see it as my money. And why should any bank or institution deny you access to your funds, unless, of course, your funds are ill-gotten and it's an order of the court or something? But at the end of the day, it's very frustrating. Even if it doesn't happen, it's very frustrating to hear that it's hanging over you like a cloud. And to get information like that about living in a place like Georgia, which, by the way, has long, hot summers. Okay, it has winters, but it's got long, hot summers. I said to him in a reply that I thanked him for his information, and I respect the fact that he took the time to impart that information to me. And I just said that if I was single today in Thailand, I wouldn't be arsed. I wouldn't be arsed. Because there's no point in being, for me, there's no point in being in Thailand unless I'm married. And I'm married with my son and my wife. And I know, I make videos about my life here and the rest of it. You might think that I'm not happy here. I'm genuinely content here. But I would say, if I found myself, and I said before I go to Spain, a place like that, I would be, not anywhere else, but there's a number of places I would be if I wasn't here. And it's not the first time I heard about Georgia and the ease at which you can open a bank account. Now, that struck a chord with me because it's, as we already stated, it's so goddamn difficult to open, and it seems to be that it's going to get so goddamn difficult to maintain your bank account here. You can apparently, based on what he says, you can open a bank account in Georgia just with a passport. You know, when I came here almost 13 years ago, things were a lot different. But you see, you could say that about anywhere. Things are always a lot different when you look in hindsight. But it was a lot different. It was a lot more attractive. It was a lot more exotic. And because, through no fault of Thailand has become less exotic for me because I've become used to living here. And of course, the idea of moving to somewhere else, i.e. Georgia, might sound exotic, but will probably get banal after a while. I don't know. But I can tell you, regardless what I say, and regardless how I come across, I wouldn't be anywhere else at the moment. So you see, this is a rant. And the other guys that are making negative videos, I want to tell them, I don't make negative videos, I make positive videos, but some people don't like the information they hear and they label it as negative. And in the words of Donald Trump, nobody does it better than me. So just to say that when I talk about other YouTubers being negative, yeah, they are being negative. They're jumping on the bandwagon and talking about all the things that they hear on other reputable YouTube channels. And it's just the same old dribble. That's all it is, the same old dribble. And the ones that are being negative are still doing the same old dribble. Walk around Pattaya and Phuket and places like that and say, look at this, look at that, isn't it wonderful? It is wonderful, but it's not going to be wonderful forever, because I think Thailand is not only pricing itself out of the market, it's doing itself out of the market. It's going to shoot itself in its foot, because there's places like Georgia that make it so goddamn easy to live there. I love this country. My son is Thai. I love this country. I love the people. But I get so damn frustrated when I hear negativity. And you're probably saying that's the kettle calling the pot black. No, it's not. I'm not negative. I give it to you straight, as I always do. So remember, lads, if you haven't subscribed already, now's a good time to do so. Make sure you click the like button, the share button, subscribe button. Do all those wonderful things, and I'll bring you back another wonderful video very soon. Thanks for joining me.